God is infinite love. I am not ready yet. An MDMA trip report posted to the actualize.org forum, January 25th, by the user Sincerity. After a lot of contemplation, frequent deep sessions and tough groundwork of facing fears, shame, letting go of attachments, in the past 2 months I decided to shut the F up and go balls to the wall with observing direct experience, and reaching a state from which I would recognise myself again. So today, I took 150 milligrams of MDMA to help me with that, and here's what I experienced. My intention was to become as conscious as I can and be in that state, instead of trying to break it down, contemplating it to death, trying to somehow save the state, etc. But also, I vowed to accept anything I experience, or not, so that I'm not disappointed and love whatever I get. I learnt from my previous experiences that it's stupid to have expectations for trips. Or did I? So I sat on the floor with my back leaned against the bed and stayed there for most of the trip, focusing on consciousness and suddenly asking myself, what is all of this? In silence, with eyes either closed or open. After about half an hour, the effects started kicking in. I began to feel really relaxed and comfortable in my body. Probably one of the greatest pleasures I've ever experienced. I became present like never before, and it was amazing. I'd never been as much in the now as during this trip. While it should have been apparent to me already, here I was shown the true magic of presence. God is absolute now. Everything is happening now. Reality is now. The more now you are, the more conscious you are. Connected to this was the consciousness of the deep profundity of I am what I am. I am what I am in this moment now, and it cannot be otherwise. God is what is right now. That's what God is. The mistake is wanting what is to be what is not. As I said before, my intention was to go balls to the wall with consciousness. While I was observing the present moment and basking in its beauty, suddenly words came to me which I uttered out loud. I want to awaken. I was taken aback. Not only because of what I said, I've repeated this a few times in my life already, but mainly by the sincerity behind these words. These fucking words were sincere. I can probably count on one hand sentences that I've spoken aloud which are really true, and this was one of them. But God responded. You are not ready yet. I was even more surprised now. I was surprised because I recognised this was also true, and a small relief washed over me. Of course I'm not ready. Duh. I still can't accept so much. I'm pretty much just a child. I asked God, am I ever going to be ready? He said yes. Then I had a light bulb moment and asked, will that be in the moment of death? And he responded with, wink. Just so you know, I'm not giving these conversations with God very much weight, because I'm taking into consideration that I might be deluding myself. But so far, this mentorship has been incredibly helpful to me. So, I didn't awaken fully, but God didn't leave me empty-handed though. After more observation and focusing, I became conscious that God is infinite love. It was love so unbiased, deep and indiscriminate, that I couldn't believe it. Endless and unconditional. What I find funny is that I felt a bit butthurt that this love wasn't reserved for me. I saw it as unbiased and universal, and it stung me in the arse. Isn't that hilarious? Just a devil being a devil. I noticed this feeling and moved on. See, God is absolute self-love, and here I'm connecting the previous 3 big points. 1. Presence. 2. I am what I am. And 3. Infinite love. God is absolutely itself, absolutely now, and God loves itself infinitely. It's amazing. Infinite love. Endless, unconditional, universal, and unbiased. Infinite love of what is, aka God equals self equals reality. Experiencing this love felt healing and freeing. It made me utter the next set of sincere words. I'm sorry I'm not as loving as you. I'm sorry I'm so weak. I'm sorry I can't accept everything. And of course, it was okay. I love you anyways, God said. I am you, always. I remember feeling undeserving of this love, and the third and last set of words was, I want to be like you. This one honestly brings me to tears the most. Again, it's the sincerity behind it. I want to be like you is surrender. It's redemption. The devil surrendering to God, inspired by his goodness and love. But of course, I'm not ready to surrender yet. I am what I am. If I am unready, I am unready. Today, I've been working on accepting this state as much as possible, because that's what is now. I suppose what I really have to do with my work is just accept more and more of what is in the present moment. It's really not that complicated. Infinite love also made me realise that I am God is half the truth. The other half is I am not God, simply because I can't love as much. Or maybe I am limited, or I am human, is a better way to convey this point. The discrepancy between my love and God's love is infinite, literally, which I find a bit saddening. 3 months ago, when I asked God whether I am Him, He responded with yes and no. You're not fully conscious of me, but I was too dumb to listen. So yeah, that's it I guess. Honestly, I think my main lesson from this trip is that I got to accept. God's love inspired me to love more like Him. God is an endless source of wisdom, love and inspiration. God is the greatest mentor. And I suggest that you get in touch with Him. By the way, in this thread, I was mostly referring to God as He for simplicity's sake. Of course, God is not male. Thanks for reading. Check out my other reports if you wish. You might get inspired. See ya.